I'm going to tell a story, yet another folk tale today. Again, another king. Okay? There is a place near Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh is in the northern part of India, close to Delhi. And in Himachal Pradesh, in those days, there used to be a king. Now, this king was no ordinary king. He was a weird king. If people did not do what he said, why only king? Because I have a huge collection of king stories. If you can send me some queen stories, I will tell queen stories. Let me see. Okay, so no more chatting. If you can stop chatting, we can continue with the story. So this king was very funny. And he would ask people to do weird things. If they did not carry out their orders, he would get really angry and he would punish them. Now, what kind of punishment would he give them? The punishments also were really weird. Like, for example, he would say, all the men in this kingdom will shave half their head. What? Shave half their head? That is really stupid. But did they want their hair or did they want their neck? If they did not carry out his orders, he would behead them or put them in jail, or he would do something really crazy with them. They dared not question him. Well, there was only one person in the whole kingdom who thought that he was a very intelligent guy. And who was that? The king himself. He was the only fellow who thought that he was a very intelligent, smart guy. So he would really pass some funny orders. Out of boredom, to excite him, he would just pass some funny orders like, we shall all do farming only in the nights from now onwards. What? Farming in the night? You need sunlight to do farming. And in the night, in that darkness, there will be some snakes and some animals lurking in the darkness. How can you do some kind of farming in darkness? But he would not have no for an answer. All right, they would do that. Then suddenly he would pass an order saying, we will all have bath only on Tuesdays. Weird. They will do that. But that was not weird. That is not weird these days. It was weird in those days. In these days, I think going forward, if the water scarcity continues to worsen, we will all probably be reduced to having bath just a few days a week. Bathing will become a luxury. Then, suddenly, one day he got an idea. I would like to be entertained. Entertained with stories. Wow. Now, those days, people would come from far off kingdoms, from different countries and lands to showcase their talent, gift the king with the best of their produce, like the carpets they make or the silk they would weave, and they would give it to the king. So the king thought for a long time, what shall I do? I've been gifted everything, I've tried everything, and it's still boring. I want something interesting. So what shall we do? Okay, listen to a story. Why don't I listen to a story? He thought. All right, listen to a story. Then people from his kingdom, people from other kingdoms can come and tell him the best story. That's not easy, but there has to be some twist. Now, he's a funny king, right? So he decided, what if someone can tell me a never-ending story? And I will give him a brick of gold worth his weight. Wow, a brick of gold worth his weight. Now that definitely got a lot of people interested. But some wise people knew not to interfere, and they decided to stay out of this. So people from his kingdom, people from outside, from other kingdoms started coming. And they would come and tell them a story. The moment they would tell a story, he would start asking questions. If people said, one day there lived a young man, how old was he? Was he tall? Was he thin? One fine morning, started one storyteller. One fine morning? Wait, did the sun shine? What time did the sun rise that day? He would go on asking such stupid questions and he would not let the storyteller complete the story. That after a few lines, they would just resign, they would give up. Maharaj, that's the end of the story. What? That's the end of the story? But I told you to tell me a never ending story, right? So go to the jail, go to the jail, go to the jail. And so many people, one after the other, started going to the jail. There was a young boy, probably your age, about 10 years old or something, who was watching all this. And then he went to the guards and said, I would like to meet the king. No, the king is very busy. We can't take you to the king. But I would like to tell the king a never ending story. Do you know what is happening to all the wise people, the big, old, all those great people? They're all in the jail now. Are you foolish? No, you take me to the king. The guards refused. They did not take him seriously. He was, after all, a 10-year-old boy. Why would they take him seriously? But after 2 days, he still did not budge. He was standing there at the gates. They finally took him to the king and they said, Maharaja, he wants to tell you a story. Really? Do you know the condition? Don't come here thinking you will get gold. You seem to be a really poor old boy. Your clothes are all torn. So I can give you some nice clothes, some good food to eat. Take that and leave. No, Maharaj, I want to take the challenge. I will tell you a story. Really? Okay. But Maharaj, one condition. What is the condition? You cannot speak anything other than one word, and that is Phir, and then Apro. So that is the only word the boy allowed the king to say. And you can say that word only when I pause. Very okay, it's a simple condition. So he started the story. One village, a beautiful one kingdom, a strong and brave king ruled the kingdom. He started imagining himself. And he paused. The boy paused. So the king said, one season, there was wonderful, amazing crops that year, lots of crops. So the king thought, this year there is excess of crops. We must probably store the excess. If next year or the year later we have a shortage, we can use this. The boy paused. Phir? The king thought, I must build a warehouse to store all these excess grains. Paused. Phir? The king asked his men to build a warehouse. Phir? The men built a warehouse. Obviously, the king orders them to build a warehouse. They have to build a warehouse. What stupid this boy is. But he just remembered the condition. If he says anything more than Phir, this boy will stop. And that means the king loses the game. So he didn't want to lose the game. He kept quiet. The men built a warehouse with 4 walls. Phir, 1 door and no windows. Phir, but they left a small gap in the wall. And one day, there was a bird flying by which saw the small gap and went inside the warehouse. Phir, the bird saw that the warehouse was stocked with grains from floor to roof. Wow, so many sacks of wheat. So it went, made a small hole in one of the sack, took 1 grain and flew away. Phurr. Phir, another bird that was watching this bird went inside the same hole, took 1 grain and flew away. Phurr. Phir. Phurr. Phir. Phurr. This phir, phurr, phir, phurr went on for 3 days and 3 nights. The king did not eat anything. The king did not sleep. The boy was not going to give up. How many birds? How many grains? It would take one whole year of this for the whole grain to become empty. 3 days, the king could not take it. Finally, he decided, I have to accept defeat. My dear boy, you are very smart. You win this game. Here, take this brick of gold worth your weight. Come on, go now and let me eat some food and sleep. But that boy had really taught a valuable lesson to that king. And after that incident, the king did not pass any stupid rules just to entertain himself. The king became a better person and a better ruler. So here is that 10-year-old boy, a cute little fellow with torn clothes. He's standing near a stool. Comfortably, he sits on that stool, and the king just is supposed to say one word. And what is that word? Put it in the chat. And I would be really happy if you people can tell me. Wow, some people have got the right answer. I will be very happy if you can also write in the chat some words that you listened today and you liked today. This story may be very silly, but the reason I told this story is some people say certain things because of the power they have. The king had the power, so he could do whatever he want. He could say whatever he want, and people had to oblige. They had to just carry out his orders. So sometimes people who have power tend to do foolish things. But if we do not want to do whatever the king says, we must be the one to bell the cat and tell him that this is not the right way to do it. Okay, so guys, did you all like the story? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay. All right, I got some answers. You people all said Phir, but what are the words? Any words that you really liked today? Any words that you would really love to mention that you listened today? I want to see if you were really paying attention. Weird. That is the last word that I said. Throughout the story, you don't listen, and the moment I say what are the words you liked, suddenly you start paying attention. Is that it? Okay, so that's the end of the session.